in tight, green lights flashing, rubbers burning, hearts are clashing, tires screaming that southern heat, 200 strong on the NASCAR beat. Lap 5 wreck on turn 4, smoke so thick can't see the door, but somehow I slip right through like a ghost in red, white, and blue. 'Cause I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride, made it through the other side. Yellow flags like warning signs, but I ain't falling for their lines. Got nerves of steel, a shaky hand. This ain't a game, it's fight or land. Saw that 18 catch the wall, 21 spun, took out them all. But somehow I found the lane, like Moses through that fire and rain. Yeah, I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride, made it through the other side. No checkered flag, no champagne rain, but I kept it clean through the carnage and pain. One more lap, one more breath, a dance with danger, a race with death. Still I thread the needle, feel the flame, every turn's a twist of fate's game. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, out of chaos into light, no first place, but man, I ride with fire still burning inside. Yeah, I thread the needle in this wild racing ride. Strapped in tight, green lights flashing, rubbers burning, hearts are clashing, tires screaming that southern heat, 200 strong on the NASCAR beat. Lap 5 wreck on turn 4, smoke so thick can't see the door, but somehow I slip right through like a ghost in red, white, and blue. 'Cause I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride, made it through the other side. Yellow flags like warning signs, but I ain't falling for their lines. Got nerves of steel, a shaky hand. This ain't a game, it's fight or land. Saw that 18 catch the wall, 21 spun, took out them all. But somehow I found the lane, like Moses through that fire and rain. Yeah, I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead.
All right, we are right back here Friday night with some action. We're going to bring you some trucks here at FTR at Nashville Speedway. John Ross in the booth. As always, Russ Martin Jr. is joining me. Russ, how are we doing tonight?
Man, we're a little tired tonight, but these guys are about ready to pick it up here in Nashville, and things might get exciting here tonight.
Well, listen, Nashville has kind of that roll of the dice, right, Russ? Sometimes it's a great race. Sometimes it's a little bit of a snooze fest. We're going to find out tonight. I have a feeling these trucks are going to do a whole lot better than maybe even the next gens do, as you've got pretty much two predominant lanes, as these trucks are going to start to get really tight on the exit of 2 and the exit of 4. But, man, we've already got the chat is popping off. We've got the 87. Robert's already in chat. Mrs. Ally already in chat. Selbig is in chat. So we've already got some people tuning in for this one tonight. Man, Russ, this season is coming down to the wire quickly here. Only 4 races to go.
Yeah, only 4 races left till we crown a champion. 2 races before the playoffs. Tonight is kind of one of those must-wins for some of these drivers and looking to lock themselves into the playoffs.
Well, let's take a look at it. You say it, and here it is. Lampert is still winning, picking up another win. He has 5 wins on the season. You've got Melton, and then Robert is going to be your 2 other winners. You've got Brandon, Kane, Richard, Zachary, Charlie, Tim Johns, and Joseph Phelps right there on the cut line. 9 points ahead, Mike Ziegler. Matt Morrison, really with him and Jacob, they are almost tied here for that cut line. So we might have a clear front runner out there in Josh, but what we do have is some other drivers that are fighting to get themselves in that playoffs hunt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know one guy back there. He said he's about 18 points below the cut line. John Fowler. He's looking to maybe steal one and lock himself in here tonight. Lots of potential different strategies to happen here, and I know, 2 tires can sometimes work, so it'd be interesting to see what these guys have in store to try to lock themselves into the playoffs if they don't already have a win and they're locked in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, let's go ahead and take care of what our qualifying results are going to be here, and let's see if we can bring these drivers all the way back to that first position. And we're going to just try to trim this down just a little bit. But, yeah, we've got a lot of drivers that are going to go, and they're going to try to base tonight off of what they can be able to do. If they win, they are in. That's what they need tonight. A lot of drivers doing that. Brandon is going to be your pole sitter. Brandon with a 34.43. Barry right beside of him, just a double odd 7 behind. Josh, your points leader, 5 wins on the season. He's going to be right there in 3rd. Rick in 4th. Robert is going to be in 5th. Really looking forward. That is another winner so far on this season in the top 5. Jacob is going to be in 6th. Charlie Stutzman in 7th. Brian, Joseph, and Zach are going to round out your top 10.
Leroy Corpulence is going to start P11. John Walker in 12th. Matt Morrison going to roll off in 13th. Chris Melton in 14th. Thomas Ridgway in 15th. Peyton in 16th. Ryan Walker in 17th. John Fowler, P18. Rudy in 19th. And Juan Velez is going to round out your top 20.
Yeah, then you've got Kane, Michael Ziegler, Jeff is going to be in 23rd, and Shane Ogle is going to round out your field tonight. So we are going to be 24 truck drivers strong taking on this Nashville track. And Russ, when you look at Nashville, what are some of the things that you can look out for as we get ready to go green here?
Well, I mean, we were seeing it in practice. I mean, these guys are not afraid to take it 3 wide. They were doing it in practice, and that's definitely something you're able to do here. But that high side here kind of tends to chew your tires up. So if you're going to be up there on that high side, I wouldn't be up there long. Usually, the bottom side here is usually pretty dominant. And like I said, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys have in store for some pit strategies. We have 100 laps. Fuel is looking like probably anywhere between 38 to 42 laps. So we got 2 pit stops coming here tonight for sure. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what these guys have up their sleeves for some pit strategy, possibly trying to leapfrog some other people and try to race their way into the playoffs here.
Yeah, I can see Zach Lockett out there in chat saying, let's go Fowler. Zach, it would have been nice to see you out here wheeling a truck around Nashville Super Speedway. We've got 100 laps. That 85 machine is going to bring them down here to the start-finish line. Here we go. A little bit of racing here on Monday night. Great jump by the 85. He's going to shoot down to the bottom here in the middle of 1 and 2. The 90 is going to follow him there. That is Josh. Looks like the 85 is going to get a little pushy on the exit. Josh taking that nice low line. He is going to tuck in there in second position.
Josh had a pretty good start there on that inside. I mean, that's going to be one of these guys that, you know, we're going to have to watch out for all night long. He's been dominant all season long. Like you said, 5 wins on the season, looking to see number 6 tonight.
A lot of drivers already battling around. The 48 is going to slide in 71, looking to take that position away. Now, that is a battle for 4th. So you've got Modric there in the 71, all over the back end of the 48. Right behind him is going to be Stutzman. And, man, there are just battles all over the track as now we're going to have a loose truck here. He's going to go to the outside. Open the door here for the 458. So the 180 on the high side, that is Stutzman. Going to have to give way to the 458. Now the 458 is going to make that pass, being 6th.
John, you know, I don't want to jinx anything right now, but looking at the way that these guys are coming around this track, it looks like maybe they've learned a little something from their last couple of weeks, and they've kind of decided to single it out just a little bit here as we're looking at this one little battle here. But for the most part, this feels pretty much single file now. So looks like these guys have decided, hey, we need to turn some laps early on in this race, and we'll battle it out at the end.
Well, I will tell you, there are some aggressive drivers back here. The 52 and the 9, they're going to be side by side. Now the 9 starting to take a peek on the outside of the 84. Can't get that done, but the 52 is going to fill that space. He's going to be down at the bottom, turning and burning here through 3 and 4, side by side, wheel to wheel, door to door with that 84 coming across this start-finish line. But you were right, Russ, and I got to think, remember, folks, 45% fuel for these trucks, so they can burn some tire. They can be aggressive, because at 45% fuel, you're not going to lose a whole lot of tire here at Nashville.
Yeah, it's like I said, a fuel window looking at about 38 to 42 laps, depending on what you can save. Maybe a little earlier. Just going to have to see how things kind of pan out. But yeah, you can definitely get up on the wheel early here and look to gain some positions. We got the 90 there, Lambert looking to the inside, trying to take the lead away from the 85.
Yeah, but I will tell you that high line, that mid to high, you could call it the high line here at Nashville. It does not look like that 85's on the high line, but that is the top line here at Nashville. Right there where you can see those tire tracks go in, and he is really working that. These trucks get a fantastic drive off. He is able to defend, and this is one of those things at Nashville that makes this track so difficult. You get to heat up in these tires. You can hang door to door with some of these trucks, but man, it does look like the 90 is turning extremely well here right now.
Yeah, he's definitely got his truck set up very well here at the start of this. The 85 not going away. Now we've got 2 other drivers here in the 83 and the 48 trying to take a peek underneath and try to pick up some positions.
Crossover, not an option for the 85. He's going to tuck in line. That is going to put Lambert back up front here in this 90 machine. The 85 is going to slide into second. Aker right there in third, and now he is getting pressure from the 48.
Yeah, we got about 6 trucks right here trying to battle off for the top spot. Nobody seems to be able to break away early on, and we got a race here between the 83 and the 48.
Side by side, it looks like these 2 black and purple, really nice paint job there on that 83. He is going to hold on to that position. 48 is going to tuck back in line, but the 71 and the 458 are close in tow here as we continue to go through this field and watch all of these battles. That 6 truck under the 61. And, man, just battles all over the place. The 161 is Leroy Copeland's. He is on that outside in that Adrenaline Racing truck, trying to hold on to this position, but a hard-charging Matt Morrison trying to take that spot away.
Yeah, that's one driver right there that we know knows his way around this Nashville Super Speedway, and that's at 161 at Leroy Koblenz. This guy runs a lot of races here. He really enjoys this track, so he might be one to watch here as this race progresses.
Yeah, it looks like he is continuing to get a bit pushy on the exit of 2, and now the 52. We might go 3 wide here, Russ.
3 wide.
Into 3 already. Oh, this is going to get tight on the
coming
exit.
off.
Man, really nice job by all of these drivers. Now, what that has done is open the door to the 9 truck. Now, the 9 has stuck that thing in there. You can see Leroy's taking that high line, and he is going to get passed by the 52. The 52 going a 2 for getting by the 6 and the 161. But, man, it looks like these drivers are in a dogfight.
Leroy able to save it. Looked like the 9 tried to push the issue there, tried to squeeze up the middle, and didn't quite have enough rotation to keep that thing tucked down to the bottom. Got right up into that left quarter panel of Leroy and almost hooked him around, but great save by Leroy there.
Man, what a race. Now the 81 looking underneath of the 33.
Oh, we got one trying to go around. He saves it back there. Who is that? Oh, now he's up in the wall. The 98, yellow flag is going to come out.
That is going to be your caution. 98 getting hard into the outside retaining wall. That's going to be the 198 of Ryan Walker, and it does look like not a whole lot of damage, just some right front. No, he is missing a right front fender, so my apologies. It does look like some pretty heavy damage here for the 98. It's going to have to come down pit road. Not a whole lot to see there, folks, but just a driver getting loose there and getting into that outside wall.
Yeah, I was kind of watching that in real time. It looked like it was like another light left rear quarter panel catch, and I thought he had it saved there for a minute. Then it just kind of right hooked and went right up into the wall.
Man, so everybody can take a breath now. We are 14 laps in. That is going to be your first caution. All of these drivers having to check up weight on this pace car that is now going to catch up to the field. That's going to put that 90 truck. And what do you do here, Russ? You know, when you really look at a driver like this 90 truck, he's pretty much dominated this season. Couple of opportunities for some other drivers in a plate race, you know, but that is really about it. Couple little issues at one track that allowed or opened the door for somebody else. Really been washed out here by this 90 truck.
I was just gonna say that, you know, at this point, it's kind of one of those situations of, you know, you kind of follow the 90, you know, if he comes down, but if he doesn't come down, then maybe you come down and try to get those fresher tires over him. But looks like this whole field's coming right now.
Yeah, it really does. And it does look like, because you're probably, again, folks, just 45% fuel in these trucks. So as you look through all of these drivers that are coming down pit road right now to get service, you might see now, there you go. You see some drivers that are fuel only. 90 is going to beat everybody out, 85. So it looks like most of these drivers coming down fuel only.
Yeah, that may not be a bad idea. I mean, we still, I mean, unless you're really, really good at saving fuel here, I mean, you're still looking at, you know, two more stops. You know, at 40 laps for fuel, that's, you know, 80 laps left in the race. That's putting you 5 laps short to the finish. So might as well come down, top it off, and save those tires for later on.
Yeah, very good point, as now we're going to be probably 17 laps in when we get ready to go back green. And you're right, because you only have 2 sets. So that one over the wall plus 2 at 15 laps, or really 13 when that caution come out. You don't want to burn a set of tires. But I will tell you, I just feel like, Russ, especially at Nashville, it seems like the tires, there's a big, big advantage for the first 5 to 7 laps. Then the tires start to level off and everybody are running the same lap times. If you had somebody willing to take a chance here early, put a set of tires on, march through the field the first 5 to 7 laps, and then when the tires level out, have a solid lead. You just never know. And that's what's great about this, is all of the strategies that you can play here.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost, you know, this may be a sim, it may be a game, but man, a lot of times it's just like you're really out there trying to, you know, you got your crew chief up there on the box trying to make those tough decisions, because it's literally all about strategy in a lot of these races. So, I mean, you know, to come down, like you said, you know, you may have about five to 7 laps maybe of an advantage with those fresh tires, and then they kind of level out. So, I mean, you know, I don't think it's quite enough laps under the belt yet to come down and get those tires.
That is a very, very good point. Now, the lights are going to be off here on that pace car. So here we go. We are going to be 17 laps in when we cross the start-finish line. Josh Lambert bringing them down once again here to the green flag.
Great jump there by the 90.
And we've got a battle right back here with Jacob and Barry. The 83 and the 48. The 48 now with a fantastic drive off of the exit of 2 is going to take over that 3rd position.
You got 3 wide back here towards the back coming out of turn 4. You guys aren't holding anything back right now.
Your other race runner, that is Robert in that 87. He is up here now up to 7th position. Couple of other drivers battling right back behind him, and that's going to be the 19 and the 57. Now the 19 securely underneath of the 57. Again, Russ, with these fresh tires, you just got to think these drivers are trying to maximize their opportunity to get positions here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, anybody that came down to take tires on that pit stop, you know, you've got 5 to 7 laps, like you said, to try to gain as many positions as you can. You know, somebody like that 19, you know, we're used to seeing him up front battling for the wins, and, you know, he probably didn't have the qualifying effort that he was hoping for here tonight. So, you know, if he was one of those drivers, we see him making headway towards the front here. If he was one of those drivers that got those tires, you definitely want to start checking off some of these trucks as quick as possible.
Fowler now underneath. He is in the 54. You've got Phelps in the 57. He is stuck on the outside, starting to get a train of trucks underneath of him now. The 52 is now going to slide underneath of him. So he is just stuck on the outside doing what he can. The 180 right behind the 52. So that is spelling bad news here for Phelps.
Got about 3 or 4 trucks back there. It's going to try to squeak up under the inside of him and follow behind that 52 there, but he's just going to have to try to look for an opening and try to get back down to the bottom.
And you really have to, right? Where is the time where you just kind of back off just a little bit? He did get a fantastic run on the exit of 2, so again, just side by side here with the 180, and the longer that you do that, you're going to allow, which the 33 is battling right behind this driver. And there you go. He's going to slot in and try to hit this bottom line now and find himself. But man, Russ, it took him about 5 to 6 positions to get himself back down to the bottom of this track.
Yeah, I mean, he had that 180 up underneath him, and you know, like I said, like if it were me, I would have, you know, I saw that little gap there behind us. I probably would have burnt the throttle just a little bit, tucked back in behind that 180. But if I had that opportunity to do it a little sooner and save some position, I definitely would have done that. But I mean, now he's just got to kind of get back into a rhythm and try to work his way back up towards the front here.
Well, Tucker now working his way up underneath of the 87. That pass is going to be completed. The 6 is right there. Fowler is continuing to move his way up right behind the 6, almost pushing him here into 3. Now they're going to stagger 3 wide through 3 and 4. The 87, the 19, all stuck up on the outside. You got the 6, the 1, the 6, and the 54 down low.
Yeah, that 54. I know that's one guy. He's hungry for a good finish, if not a win here, trying to lock himself into the playoffs. No surprise. Now he's going to get hooked. Working his way all the way from the back of this field up to like about P11, and he's going to get hooked coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, let's see if we can hop back on here with Fowler. Go back. We're going to go back. I don't see a whole lot of damage on the truck.
I don't think he hit anything.
I don't think he did either, but let's just go back and see if we can find out what happened here. Let's go into a different view. Man, it just looks like the 52 is just going to come up and get that quarter panel.
Yeah, just tried to have that nose up inside. Just got a little tight on the exit there and right up into the quarter panel. You see the rear end of that 54 lifting up. We know that 54 has been on his lid before, so good thing that thing kept all fours on the ground.
Yeah, 57 is going to slide down underneath. Now the 33, heavy impact into the 52. Man, it just looks like John is just going to slide himself two-way stop here. Not a whole lot of damage. Maybe hop it into the pits. No, it looks like nice, clean truck. Not a whole lot of damage here for this driver. But, man, big, heavy impact for the 52 and the 33.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard hit there for the 33. Just really kind of nowhere to go with that 52. Just kind of sliding there.
All right, so we're going to line this thing back up. 26 laps are already gone. A quarter of this race is done. Some good, tight racing. You could just see how evenly matched these trucks are on this track. As we watch Josh Lambert go around, what are we going to do here? Are we coming back down? They pit on 14.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's going to be interesting because everybody behind the top two trucks came down pit road. Not quite sure if anybody decided to take tires there, but if they did, man, the 90 and the 48, they're going to be sitting ducks at this restart.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you here, Russ. I just feel like we're going to see what these drivers are going to do now. They might go off of what the 90 is going to do here, and we're going to see what Josh. Now, Josh is probably going to come. We're 2 to go, so he's just going to come here. You're going to have a closed pit. He's not going to come down, so he chooses to stay out. So, just to recap, folks, we pit at lap 14 for fuel. We are about 13 laps into this run, 12 laps into this run, 13 now. Did not come down and pit, so still two sets of tires for most of these truck drivers. So, Russ, we are playing a bit of strategy as some of these drivers saving that additional set maybe later on in the race. When you have a 10-lap shootout, 20-lap shootout, you might want that fresh set of tires.
Yeah, it's possible. Trying to do the math here in my head really quick. I mean, you know, the 90 and the 48 definitely don't have any kind of, you know, they've been on the same set of tires since the drop of this thing. Like I said, I'm not quite sure who behind them has the fresh tires, but I mean, if they came down, they got fresh tires and fueled up, they could take this thing to about lap 65 to lap 67 and come down and get their last set and have enough to go to the end. Where, you know, if we get a late race caution, then the 90 and the 48 are going to have that extra set. That they're going to be able to come down and have the freshest tires on the track and be able to try to work their way back up through the field and try to win this thing.
Yeah, I mean, there is some strategy going on here for sure. Now, here we go. You've got the lights out on that pace car. We are going to go green here, folks. 28 laps when they cross this start-finish line. Again, the 90 taking control early on in this race. Green flag now in the air. 90 truck with another fantastic jump. The 48 is going to be able to get right in line here in second. 85 right there in third. So just kind of nose to bumper, nose to tail. Now the 48 is going to sneak out. He's a great run on the exit of 2. Not there. He's going to fall right back in line.
I was going to say the 48 had a much better restart that time than the last caution, able to stick right with the 90 and not let the 90 really able to clear him that much going into turn one, able to get that good run for this vehicle to hang right here with Lambert.
All right, let's see what this 458 can do. He is underneath of the one. One giving him plenty of room on that truck. Very, very nice, respectable racing here. Now the one has a great exit. 19 is going to push him down that backstretch. Man, just that entry, it looks like that low entry, Russ, is working well for a lot of these trucks. They're able to gain maybe a truck length, but the exit of 2 and the exit of 4 just dominant on that high side.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looks like however you send it in there, you get it down there on that low entry, it's just going to be able to hook up a little bit better for you.
Well, I will tell you, folks, there are races all over the track. The 87 up high, 6 underneath. 6 is going to make that low line stick and be able to stay underneath of Robert here in the 87. Just looks like a great drive by the 6 truck so far tonight.
Yeah, we've seen him have a couple of really good runs here through the middle part to the end of a race where, you know, he's kind of been like mired in the middle of the pack for most of the race, and you see him start slowly driving his way up from the middle to the end of the race. So looks like he thought he was going to try to do that again.
Yeah, and as we do every single race, Russ, we really like to go on board with some of these drivers, see what it's like to turn a lap inside of these trucks, and we are going to choose your leader as we do most weeks here of Josh Lambert. So we're going to go on board with Josh, see what we can do here with inside the lap. So you can see here, we're going to cross this start-finish line. Now, the entry to 1 is very important. You can see he's going to take that higher line, allow the truck to work his way. He is off throttle about the first third of that turn, applying the throttle where it's going to rotate nicely off, get down this backstretch. Again, choosing that brake point. Looks like it's a little bit past that Cracker Barrel sign. Again, just working those brakes to get this thing to rotate down to the bottom, and then get a nice straight line here on exit. So as you go around Nashville, they're going to do this about 66 more times here tonight, but that is what it is like to be on board in that truck here with your leader. All right, so Russ now out to 0.8 of a lead over the 85. 85 able to get by Jacob in the 48, as now Jacob is under quick attack here by Barry.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the 48's starting to lose just a little bit of tire, but I mean, on the same set of tires as the 90, the 90's starting to check out. I mean, that's one thing I noticed, you know, when we were doing the lap inside with the 90. You know, his truck is hooked up really, really well on the bottom side. You see very, very little wheel input, which is really helping him to save tire, and now it's starting to show almost up to a second lead.
Yeah, it's a really good point. The less amount of wheel you can put into these trucks means that you are driving it off of that right rear. Now this is going to stack these drivers up. 83 still trying to get by the 48. That's going to put the 71 right behind him. 19's there. The 1 is there. 81 right behind those drivers. So, my goodness, throw a blanket over from about 3rd to 7th or 8th here, all within a half a tenth of each other.
Yeah, with that 48 being stuck there onto that outside, he's got to have to try to do the same thing that 57 had to do and try to find himself a spot to get down, you know, when one opens up. Because now you've got the 19 right on your bumper, and you've got 71 looking to the inside of you. So he's going to have to try to make something work here, or he's going to get passed by about these 5 trucks here.
Yeah, what you'd like to see this 83 truck do is really roll that turn, and now it looks like he's just going to get pushy, drive it off of there, do a little slide job right up there, and get in front of the 48, and that is going to open the door for the 71. So we talked about this before, Russ. When you're on that high line, you can hang on and defend really well for a couple of laps. But once you start to get a lot of heat in those tires, you are going to get steamrolled if you're stuck on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being up there in that middle lane, like I said, you're putting more pressure and more heat into those tires. I mean, like you said, it's going to work for a lap or so, but now we see the 48 kind of getting a little bit loose. It looked like coming out of turn 4. Now he's going to be 3 wide with the 19 and the 1 going into turn 1.
Man, they are going to stay that way. The 1 does not want to give up that middle lane. He's going to have to do that. 48's going to slide up next to the 19. 19 may be touching the wall, but he is going to get that pass passed on. The 6 now is sneaking underneath of the 81. 87 is starting to creep into this picture. So side-by-side racing is bringing all of the folks up to this pack here as they're all going to jostle for position. Maybe the 6 looking low here. Looks like his truck, Russ, is just, man, I am really impressed with where that 6's truck is handling.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple times throughout this season. Like I said, Meyer kind of in the middle of the pack, and then all of a sudden he kind of comes out of nowhere and really gets himself hooked up. It looks like he's doing it here again. See the 48 just continuing to fall back, and his tires must be really falling off.
Yeah, it looks like he is struggling mightily, and man, if you start struggling at Nashville, this is exactly what happens to you. And it looks like the parade of trucks going by the 48 is continuing on. 6 and Morrison is now going to be on that outside, and a tight truck stuck on the bottom, Russ, might even be worse, as the 87 now is going to look to his outside. Might even be worse than him stuck on that outside, as this thing, he's going to have to get way out of the throttle as it continues to get tight on the exit of these turns.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to do. If you know your tires are going and you're getting pushy, man. You got guys passing down that high side. You want to try to whatever you can do to try to keep that truck low, because it's very easy to get back into that throttle just a little too soon, push up the track, and left rear quarter somebody and spin them out. So you definitely don't want to do that as a guy that's falling back through the field on worn tires.
Man, this driver, second when we went back green, has now, and it looks like Koblenz is underneath of him here for the 10th position. So just what a tragic fall here by the 48 truck. Really worked those fresh tires, but man, once he gets a little wear on him, he is struggling here at Nashville, as now Koblenz is going to get by. So put that driver up to 10th, and that 48 one more spot back here to 11th.
Yeah, I think that really is a testament to what this 90 truck is doing right now, because you see the 19 get hard into the wall. Because the 90 and the 48 are on the same set of tires as what they started this race with. So for the 90 to be still very strong, 9/10, almost a 1 second lead over the 85 here, 44 laps into this race on that same set of tires that he started this race off with, that's a real testament to his driving skill and ability.
Yeah, it really is. Now Rick is going to shoot down to the bottom of the 83. It looks like the 83 is starting to struggle with a bit of a pushy truck, as now the 71, and man, he slid right up there. As now we have a driver, Josh Lambert, your leader, is now coming down pit road, so bring this 90 down. And he is going to get service, so he is going to be the first driver down pit road. 45 laps in, and it does look like we're getting a lot of drivers down. Now the 48, he was struggling though, Russ, but it looks like Brandon is going to take over that 85. So how long does he continue to go while Josh is down pit road here?
It's just going to depend on if, whether or not the 85 took tires out of that last pit stop. Like I said, I don't know for sure who all may have taken tires. I mean, it looks like it's only the 90 and the 48, so I'm assuming most of the rest of these guys have taken a set of tires already. So it's just down to the 90 and the 48 to get that fresh set. Like I said, them being on that kind of a differing pit strategy than everybody else, they're going to have that last set if we get a late race caution where, everybody else, they're going to be on some warm rubber.
Well, we're going to see what's going to happen. Kinsey out there saying, let's go, Bryant. Let's see where Bryant is. Brian is in 20th position in that 458. Now, we've got a lot of pit strategy going on, so we'll see how this is all going to shake out. That 458 was up front running about top 10 fifth, sixth position a little bit earlier on. But right now, that 85 truck still leading this race, 48 laps in, about a 2.5 second lead to your second place driver is going to be that 71 truck.
Yeah, like I said, I think these guys, they're probably going to be able to go, I believe, another 15 laps or so on this fuel run, and then I would imagine that's when they're going to take their set of tires. So I'm thinking around lap 65, somewhere between 63, 65. I'm assuming that these guys would come down and take their pit stops.
Well, you are now going to cross over halfway in this race. 49 laps, going to be 50 this next time by, so we'll be halfway this next time by. But that's 71, and it looks like Rick is starting to fall back a little bit, about 2.4 seconds that last lap or the lap before, now losing about a tenth. That last lap is now we're going to have a battle here for fourth position. Tucker struggling on those tires, getting tight, and that's going to allow this 81 to get there. But right behind him is that 6 truck.
Yeah, Morrison really showing, power here late in this run, trying to make something happen down there on the inside. But the 81 and, trying to stay down there on the bottom underneath this one truck is going to, leave him kind of limited possibilities until one of them guys gets clear of each other. Unless he decides to shoot the middle.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 might push him. Now we might go 3 wide. So here we go, and he is going to get a bit loose on the bottom. He's going to be able to stick it. Now we are going 3. No, the 81 going to be able to drive it in to close that gap and be able to get this passed on here on the 1 truck as he's going to slide up, opening the door here for the 6. 6 now underneath of the 1. And just like we talked about, Russ, it makes a bad situation go worse if you get stuck on this high side.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you get trapped out there, you get any trucks that are lined up on that bottom going to make their run. And the 6 is surely going to take advantage of that 1 truck tucked up there on the outside.
He is going to be able, now we're going to go side by side through 1 and 2, but I do believe Matt is going to get that done. He is now the one who's going to slide back behind him, maybe try the switch over. He's not going to be able to do it. Let's go back and take a look at Fowler. Fowler looks like he might be coming down pit road. He is going to come down pit road. Oh my goodness, right behind him, the 52. That has got to be, I believe, let's see if that 52 made it down pit road without a penalty. I just cannot believe he was able to slow that truck down.
If he did, he just barely made it. Because I mean, when he crossed that line, he was nose to nose with that 54. So if he did it, if he made it, he barely made it. But if he did, that was a great pit entry.
I'll tell you, that seemed like it was fantastic. And I do not see, I do see the 70 Melton does have a black flag, and so does John Fowler. John Fowler is going to have a black flag. Not certain what happened, but they are both sitting here. You can see that time clicking by as these drivers under green flag conditions are having to sit here and wait. Both of those drivers too fast entering the pits, and they're going to have to sit here and take that 40-second penalty.
And under green flag pit stops, that's one of the worst times to catch a 40-second penalty.
It
looks
really
like we got a lot
is.
more trucks coming down pit road here.
Yeah,
Kinda
we
surprised.
are
It looks
going
like,
to be busy now, Russ.
Yeah, I was going to say, kind of threw me off because I was assuming maybe 10 more laps, but a lot of these guys thought different.
I believe they're going to have to do one more stop here. 55 laps in. They're going to be 56 when they get done. Now, it looks like the 57 still able to make it down pit road, and oh my gosh, he's going to loop it.
Trying to get that thing lowered down, just lost the rear end of that thing. Easy to do with these trucks, too.
So easy to do. 57. Now, when you back up, you're going to back up your bias a little bit when you're out there on track or a lot. I know when I run these trucks, I just back that bias down. I think it starts out about 61, 62%. As much as you possibly can, to give you some better rotation when you're coming through these turns and you're trying to make the entry to these turns. And man, but if you do that and you don't back that, you don't push that back up to where it's supposed to be on pit entry, it can loop and loop fast. I believe that's what happened there to the 57.
Yeah, I've done that plenty of times myself, so I know the feeling.
All right, so now we're going to get back here and try to figure all of this stuff out with these green flag stops. Now, it looks like Tucker's going to get by the 48. 48 still hung up top. The 83 is going to get by the 48. Now, as it stands, you can see that Lambert is going to be 5 seconds ahead of Brandon. But I got to tell you, those tires are paying dividends for that 85 machine. He was about 6 seconds back, and in 2 laps, I mean, he's going to have this thing under 4 seconds pretty quickly here.
Yeah, I'm watching the tenths tick off every second around here, so definitely those fresh tires definitely paying dividends, as you said. So he's starting to close this gap on the 90 truck.
Yeah, so as we looked at last lap, a 42.18, so call it a 42.2 for Lambert. Brandon is going to run a 30.9, so about 3/10. But man, you can see it might it's going to be a second this lap.
Yeah, the 85 is really charging hard. I mean, it was just at 4 seconds a lap ago. Now he's down under three now. 85 is coming.
Yeah, he is on the march forward, as now it looks like the 48 still on the march backwards. He is down 7 positions, so he's continuing to struggle. All of these drivers, all these truck drivers here have fresh tires, and they have some old tires. Now you can see the gap visually here between first and second. It was 6 seconds, Russ, only a handful of laps ago, now under 2 seconds. So very interested to see. Let's go on board with Lambert. Let's see if he's clutching or anything good in these turns.
So I was just going to say, I was wondering if, if it was really those tires or if maybe Lambert was trying to save just a little bit of something here.
Well, I'll tell you, there is no more saving, because that 85 is already on the back tailgate of this 90 truck. What a drive forward he has.
And the difference in laps on these tires are, I think, only about 10, 12 laps. So to be able to make up that much ground that fast, and obviously the 85 getting underneath the 90, trying to take the lead going into turn 3, is a really good test of what those fresh tires will.
Well, we say that, but I got to tell you, Lambert, that last lap turned a 32.2, and that might be now a 32.3, might be the slowest laps that I've seen him turn tonight. I'm not sure, Russ, if this isn't a tire or a fuel-saving strategy, because right now, everybody else is turning low 31s, and he is turning low 32s. That truck does not look to be damaged. So I'm not certain if he's not trying to work a little bit of fuel strategy here, already about 1.6 seconds back, as the 85 has started to set sail on all of these other drivers that are on the same pit strategy. So 458, the 71, 81, 83, they're all on same or worse tires than what he is. So he is right now on another planet, already up 2.5 seconds on your second place driver.
Yeah, I mean, at this point right now, I think it's clean and green to the finish if you come down now and get fuel. So I believe you can make it to the end with no green white checker at this point. So I mean, the 90 to be saving as much fuel as, I mean, he's already 3 seconds now off of the 85. If he's saving fuel, I'm not really sure what it's for, because I feel, like I said, like right now, you came down pit road, you'd be clean and green to the finish of this thing if you stayed green.
Yeah, I got to be honest. He is the only driver in the 32s, 32.3 that last lap. Yeah, so he's losing about 9/10 of a lap. So I'm not really certain what's going on there, because now he's going to start falling back in the grips here of Rick. as Rick now is going to battle him. But, man, as we see that, this 180, this 458, they are going to be side by side. So the 458 sitting right now in 5th. Kenzie out there, you have a top five driver right now. It looks like he's trying to get by this 180 machine.
Have to go 3 wide.
Oh, the 83. He saved it, Russ. The 83 saved it, just threw it in on the bottom right there. Not really certain what he was thinking. I didn't see a whole lot of room, but threw it in there, got into the back of the 458. What a great job by both of those truck drivers to catch that truck. But now the 81 of Wiedemann, he is looking very, very sporty right now. He has gotten by the 90. I just feel like the 90 has something going on. There's some plan in the back of his mind. I just don't think it's going to be being able to make it to the end.
Yeah, I don't think you can save enough. I mean, and he's coming down pit road right now. There it is. I was going to say, I don't think you can save that much fuel, but he's coming down here with about 32 laps to go. So
now, did he come down fuel only that last stop and maybe save some fresh tires till now? It is quite possible he was on old tires and maybe saving that set for this last run. But I got to tell you, we're about 31 laps to the end of this race here. Let's reset this for you folks. So you got Brandon right here in first. You've got Rick in second. Jeff is in third. Zach Tucker's in fourth. Matt Morrison in that 6th truck. He is in 5th. Kane is in 6th. Barry in 7th. Brian in that 458, he's going to be in 8th. Koblenz is in 9th, and then Robert is going to round out your top 10.
and my only question is I'm not 100% sure if the 85, the 71, the 81, if they can make it to the end of this race without having to come down for a splash and go.
They have to come down.
I was going to say, I can't remember what lap it was that they last down pit road, but I mean, that's my only thinking behind the way that the 90 pulled that was he knows that these guys are going to have to come back down. So the farther I can make it, the fresher tires I'm going to have when they have their fresh tires. I mean, he's gonna inherit the lead back once all these other guys have to come back down pit road.
Yeah.
So he wants to make sure he's just that little bit of extra tire for when these guys have their fresh ones, try to make it to the end of this thing.
Well, the last time that this driver in the 85 was down pit road was lap 53. It looks like Lambert come down on 67. So, yes, they're definitely going to have to come down one more time. But the question is, do they have a set of tires? I feel like, Russ, if they have a set of tires that Josh might have burned up too much time coming down to get those fresh tires. Now, he just went purple, 30.46 for Lambert to a 31.3 for your leader. So he is right now about a second faster. So we're just going to have to see how this is going to work out. But, man, that 85 looks like he has got a very sporty truck. He is already up 5.5 seconds on your second-place drivers. Now, the battle for 5th position is on. Tucker's in 4th. He's going to give that up to the 19 and the 83 right behind the 19.
Yeah, I think if there's one thing we still haven't learned about this league yet, John, is that I guess we never questioned the 90 because I think he's proved us wrong on more than one occasion so far this season.
That is a great point.
I mean, you know, he obviously has something in his mind that, you know, that if this thing goes green, that it's going to work in his favor, and it very well might. I mean, we've counted him down and out before, you know, even getting into wrecks late in racing, and it's still come back to win the race. So, I mean, he obviously has something up his sleeve. He knows what he's doing. We'll just see how it pans out for him come the end of this thing after 25 more laps.
Yeah, and we're going to keep an eye on what these lap times are. Right now, this is your biggest battle on the track, and that's going to be between the 1 and the 83. So that is Aker looking to take over 6th position from Tucker. That is really close. It looks like the one has a nice little mid-lane entry. It looks like the 83 getting super tight on the exit of 4 there. He might have even touched the wall, but starting to spread out a little bit. Now, right in front of them is Kane. He is in 5th in that 19 machine, but your 6 truck right in front of them in 4th. So 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th right here within your screen.
Yeah, you know, the 19 has had a great rebound here tonight. You know, like I said, probably not having the qualifying effort that he was hoping for. Now he's currently up there inside the top 5, so great run for him tonight, as well as that six truck up there currently in P4. He's had a great night too.
Battle starting to shape up for 8th. Koblenz has it. Robert wants it. 161 against the 87. I believe I saw Koblenz get by the 87 a little bit earlier on in this run. Now, you can see that Josh is right behind him there in that 90 truck. Now, he turned that last lap a 30.7, and I just feel like, Russ, he had to back off to be able to make this thing go to the end. I just feel like he had to back off too much on that truck because he is only about 0.4 faster than your leader right now. And that leader was about a second faster than what Josh was when you flipped those pit strategies.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he might have had to go too long in order to make this thing back up. But like I said, I mean, unless the 85, 71 have got some kind of an outstanding fuel saving strategy going on, you know, when they pitted back on, what would you say, what, lap 54? I think that's going to put them just a couple laps shy of being able to make this thing to the finish. So they're going to probably have to come back down, which again, you know, that means your top 12 are probably going to have to come back down because the 90 is the first truck a lap down when he made his pit stop. So while that happens, that's going to put the 90 back in the catbird seat.
Yes. So your top 12 are going to have to come down and pit. You know, I would bet that they're going to have to do that. And we're going to find out when that's going to happen. Now, the question is going to be, Russ, if it's just a few laps, if it's me, I'm taking rights only. I want rights only. And now we can see your leader, Brandon, coming down pit road. That 85 truck down pit road, no flags entering pit road, which certainly helps him. But we're just going to stick right here, folks. I want to see if this driver is going to take tires or not. Now, Jeff in that 81 is right behind him. So let's see what happens. This is going to be your race off of pit road.
Right sides are up.
4 tires.
4 tires stop.
4 tires for this truck. Down and out in quick fashion. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. Now, that is going to put Morrison up into the lead. Now, he pit lap 54. So your top 4 drivers pit on lap 54. So it will not be long before they're coming down. But, you know, really good move by the 85 because you want to give enough time for those tires to come in and really start working as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, we've got 19 here to go. It's going to take a couple of laps for those tires really to come in and kind of equalize out. So maybe not a bad call coming down when he did.
All right, that 6 truck still leading out here. Robert is going to be in second. He is in that 87, about 5 seconds behind. Phelps is going to be in third. Now the 6 is going to come down pit road.
So that's going to leave the top 5 top 4 now still have to come down pit road. That's going to put Lambert. I mean, Lambert's back on the lead lap already, so he's going to inherit the lead back over. He can hold off the rest of this field after.
Man, I don't think he can do it because look at this, Russ. This is going to be your battle for that lead. That 85 with so many laps fresher tires than that 90 truck. I don't know if that 90 truck is going to be able to hold him off. He is going to
Oh,
give
it
it
ain't
all.
going to matter. Caution's out. That's going to change a lot of things.
Man, was that Shannon Ogle? Let's go back and take a look here. Oh, yeah, the 174 just gets moved out of the way. Oh, he's going to get in the wall and slow himself down here, Russ.
Yeah, get in the wall, come back down to the racing line. Nowhere for the 19 truck to go there.
Nowhere.
Man, tough break there.
All right, so that is definitely going to change things. Now, Phelps in that 57, he's going to come down and get tires. The unfortunate thing is, I think he's going to have to back up for all of those drivers that are going to stay out. Now, folks, we've got one more thing to do, and that is to be able to get a commercial out of the way from our sponsor in our series, and that's going to be Complete Graphics. So we're going to get this done while we are under caution, and we'll be right back with you. This is going to get wild and crazy because it does look like the 90 was able to come down and get tires, but my goodness, Russ, I think he's going to come back 11th on the field. He's going to be able to move his way up, but with only 14 laps when they take this green, I just don't know if it's going to be enough time.
Yeah, man, I was really surprised when I saw that 90 come down and get another set of tires. That tells me how long he really ran that first set of tires. I mean, to have that extra set left here with coming to 15 with 15 to go. I mean, yeah, he's going to be back about P11, and these guys took their tires not that long ago. I don't know if he's going to have enough time, John.
Well, not only that, but I don't know if these trucks are going to be a lot slower because, like you said, it was only a few laps on these tires when they come down, and they've been able to have a caution here to cool those things down. So let's take a look here. We've got the 85. 71 is going to be on his outside. 81 is in third. Kane right there in ninth, and then Tucker's going to be in fifth. Those are your top five. The lights are out on this pace car. 85 of Brandon is going to bring them down to this Geico restart zone. 14 laps to go when they cross this start-finish line. And here we go. We are down on the pedal now, and what a great start here by the 85.
85 with a big jump for their restart. Good way to get out in front of that 71. Now we're going to look back through this side here. We're going to go side by side for P3. Nope, the 19's going to tuck that back down to the bottom.
Man, 81 with a bold move on the outside now. Right there, the one is going to shut the door. But Koblenz with a big move. I think he went 3 wide there through 1 and 2. He's going to get that moved on, trying to get up a few spots. But we're going to go right back up here. Is now the 19 and the 81. They're going to be side by side. This is going to be for your third position.
And that 85 is starting starting to check out just a little bit from that 71, but this 19 and 81 battle side by side is not going away. 81 staying down there on that bottom, but the 19 holding tough there on the top side.
That 19 does not want to give up that spot. Only 13 laps, 12 to go when we cross the start-finish line. He's going to be able to hold him off. That's going to open the door to the 83 now. Barry underneath of the 81 with a great run. He might close the door and swing up in front of him. He's going to get that pass done. So 81 losing 2 positions here in half a track.
Just another example of how getting stuck up there on that top side can get you freight trained by a couple of trucks.
This fight is not over either, as now the 6 is going to get by the 1. 1 is going to try the crossover. He's going to get that done, but man, we have got a battle up here as now the 19 putting pressure all over the back end of the 71. 85 needs to find a way to drive away, and it looks like he is pushing a bit, Russ, getting really tight on the exit of 2. As now the 19 is going to send the 71 up the track. '71 able to save that. That opens the door to the 83 now.
3 there tucking in behind the 19. I'm not really sure what happened there with the 19 and the 71, but I just happened to look back and just see the 71 headed right towards the wall.
Man, what a fantastic save by that driver. Now the 19 is going to be in second position. That gave a little bit of breathing room for the 85. Now 10 laps to go. You're still going to have some heat in these tires that's going to affect this race by the end of this. If it does go green the entire way. So I do know it seems like the 85's pushing quite a bit, but man, the 19, he is just all over the back end. He has found something here late, Russ, and he is pushing to get that lead.
Yeah, he's trying to snatch this thing away from the 85 and go back to front here. The 19 definitely finding something late in this race. He's got the top 5 here. I mean, definitely still in contention with that 83, the 81, and the 6 of Morrison. But don't look now, but that 90 is up about 4 positions since restart here.
Yeah, he is sitting in 8th. I just don't believe he is going to have enough real estate to get that thing done. This is going to be between these top 5 drivers right here. 8 to go, 7 when they cross the start-finish line. 85, a really good 1 and 2. It looks like he's going to struggle on the exit of 4 to allow that 19 to get back in, but you've got to think, how hard did the 19 push to get up here? Does he have enough tire, as he is going to follow the tire tracks here of this 85?
Yeah, try to just stay in the 85's draft. Don't let him get away, and just try to look for that opening, trying to go into a corner and just send it down to the bottom quick as you can. Try to sneak a pass in there. But other than that, just try to stay in the 85's tire tracks and stay right there with him in his draft.
Man, a much better exit there for the 85. That is going to allow the 19 to get even closer. 19 is taking that midline, trying to cut down to get a nice run off of the turn, and waiting for that 85 to get tight on exit, just setting him up here, Russ. And that 85 needs to kind of hang a higher entry into these turns to really put some dirty air on that truck, as now it looks like the 19 might have gotten a little tight. That's going to pull him back to the 83. Now the 85 with a truck lead of space.
Yeah, definitely pulled that 83 right back in. We got a 3-truck battle for this thing here later on.
5 laps to go.
I was saying, it looked like the 85 tried to run just a little bit higher right there to try to throw some dirty air on that 19, just like you said.
Yeah, you can see the 85 now starting to enter a little later, and that is really going to help him push that 19 back to that 83. And the best thing that he can hope for with 4 to go when we cross the start-finish line is going to be the 83 and the 19 to try to battle. Right now, still tailgate to nose. All 3 of these trucks are just, I mean, within inches of each other as we come down here to this checkered flag.
Yeah, 19 is going to have to try to start searching for something else here. I mean, coming down to 3 to go, 85 running just a little bit higher up, going to push that dirty air on the nose of the 19. He's going to have to try to go where that 85 is not, try to get some clean air and try to get him up beside him.
Looks like to me that 83 is really able to rotate the center better than both of these two trucks in front of him. I don't think he can get up to the front position, but he can certainly create a lot of trouble for the 19. You can see him there, a fender below the 19. Is now the 85 going to get tight and into the wall, but the 83 and the 19, that's where the battle's going to be right now. If the 83 ties this 19 up to make him defend, as now I hear a truck into the wall. Everybody is safe and secure. 2 laps to go now.
Oh, the caution is out. I don't even know what for. I see nothing on my screens for a wreck.
Yeah, we heard a bit of tire squealing. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. This might be Jeff. Oh, there it is. In that 81. Oh, what happened to him right there? He's going to put the 48 in the wall. Let's back this thing up.
90?
Oh, the 90's going to push it.
Well, looked like the 81 maybe came down into the nose of the 90, not anticipating him being there or thought he was clear.
Let's see what's going to happen. The 90's trying to show himself.
Looks like the 81 just starts driving down the track to make that corner entry, maybe thinking he was clear of the 90, but 90 had that little bit of the nose in there.
Yeah, I feel like the 90 might have been there. I don't even know, Russ, if your spotter's going to call you, car low, truck low at that point. But I kind of agree. I think the 90 pushing a little bit. Tried to show himself early, but that's just a bang bang move. I think the 90 did not want to back off, and the 81 wanted to throw a block, and the 90 just had a nose there.
Yeah, just a late racing incident, I think. I mean, you definitely don't want to give something up this late in the race, but sometimes it costs you there.
Yeah.
But it's gonna set up for an exciting green-white checker finish here, though.
I felt like the 83, with some tire wear, Russ, I felt like he had a great truck right there at the end. The problem is now you can see Fowler in that 54. He is going to get a lap back and come back around. He is in 16th. Now, you remember, he had a great run going before he sped down pit road. But I feel like the 83 wanted that thing to go green. He really needed it to go green. And I feel like the 85 probably wanted this caution. He is going to be able to get a 3 to 4/10 lead going into 1 here. So just a couple of laps. He just needs to hold on, hang that thing down to the bottom, and man, don't allow that 19 to the outside. If he gets to the outside, that is going to be a tough road to hoe here for the 85 coming down to the checker flag.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely think the 83 had the better truck there at the end of that. He looked like he was just rotating the corners a little bit better than the 85 than 19. But, yeah, I mean, the 85 is going to have control. He's going to be able to get a little bit of a jump. And, the 19 right now, all he's thinking is try to stay with him, try to time this restart perfect and stay with him. Stay to that outside and try to give yourself a shot.
Well, here is the beautiful thing about broadcasting, Russ. We don't have to be in the trucks and we don't have to figure it out. We just have to call it and be fans of it. And that is what we're going to do, as now your 85 driver is going to come down. He is going to take these drivers into the Skyco restart zone. And you've really got to be a couple of things that have to be in your mind. 1, don't be predictable. 2, do not spin these tires. 3, when you get out front, you don't mirror drive. But, man, you have to protect that outside. I've got to think here in these last 2 laps, if I am that 85 truck, I'm protecting the outside. I don't want the 19 to get there. That's where the big runs are coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if that 19 gets to that outside and he can hang there, definitely going to cause problems for that 85. May even open the door for that 83 to sneak in on the bottom going 3 wide. So, definitely a lot to think about. Like you said, we're not behind the wheel. We're not in these trucks, and I thank God for that because I've screwed these restarts up more times than I can count. So better on them than on me.
All right, so here we go. 85 now, bringing them down into that Geico restart zone. You'll see that cross line down at the bottom of the apron of this track. And here we go, Nashville Super Speedway. 85 with a fantastic jump. Man, you just want him to stay down to the bottom and maybe suck that 83 to get side by side with the 19. And now the 83 is going to do that. Might even get that pass done here. He is going to cut the nose off of the 19 and get that pass done. He is going to be in second position.
Yeah, I think the 85. I was really watching that restart. I think the 85. Oh no, I'm gonna wreck here. I think the 85 kind of deked the 19 there on that restart. It looked like the 19 was trying to really anticipate that restart, and had just a little bit of an advantage and had to back out of it to let the 85 get back by him again. And when he did, the 85 timed that perfect, and that's what got him that big jump, because he was getting into the throttle as the 19 was having to get out. So great restart there by the 85, deking the 19. But man, I think that means this thing is going to, unfortunately, end under caution, John.
Yeah, you just really hate to see that. We're going to see what's going to happen here. Getting into 3, it looks like maybe the 19 drive it in a little punt job. 6, nowhere to go. It's going to turn the 19 to 6. The 57 is really going to maybe just, I mean, what a hellation. That is a tremendous wreck to the front end of that 57 truck. So it looks like the 19, the 6 truck, what a great truck both of those drivers had all night long. They're going to be done. 6 does not have a fender on the left front. I believe the 19, yeah, it looks like he's got some wrinkles here in the back, but he might be okay. But, man, that is going to bring you to the checkered flag. Only one green-white caution tonight. High Velocity TV saying big crash there, Christian. Yeah, definitely a big crash right there at the end. What that is going to do is that is going to bring a win for that 85 truck. And I got to think, Russ, really, if that thing went green the whole way through, he was probably winning this race anyway. That 90 truck, Lambert, a great job coming back to third. And then the 83 machine is going to wind up there in second.
Yeah, it's I kind of agree with you. I think if that thing would have went green, the big battle would have been between the 83 and the 19 for second. I just don't think there was quite enough track for either of them really to make anything happen. But either way, I mean, the 85 again, had a great restart, able to deke that 19, get himself out to that big lead, and then 19 just kind of a little I don't know if it was nerves from getting deked there or what, but man, just kind of mayhem at the end of this thing. And great win there for the 85, and a great comeback for the 90, and a great run for the 83 here all night long.
Yep, absolutely. Now we're going to walk you through your finishing race results here. Brandon is going to be in first. Barry there in second. Josh in third. Zach in fourth. Peyton is going to be in fifth. Rick, Juan, Leroy Koblenz, Rudy in ninth, and then Ziegler is going to be there in 10th.
Then Robert Chappell is going to come home in P11. Brian in 12th. John Fowler going to rebound for 13th. Matt Morrison caught up there in that last lap wreck, going to come home 14th. Kane Logsdon 15th. Joseph Phelps in 16th. Charlie going to come home in 17th. Jacob in 18th. Shannon 19th. And then Jeff's going to round out your top 20.
All right. Then you've got Melton, Ridgeway, Walker are going to round out your top 24 drivers that are going to be out here tonight. But your big winner here is Brandon, and we're going to see if we can go back and watch him burn this thing down. It looks like he might have hopped over to pit lane. So we are going to watch some of these drivers and see if we can get in here and talk to them. We want to hear from them. We want to see what these top 3 drivers were thinking, and we're going to see if we can bring up the broadcast. Let's see who is out here in the waiting room. We do have second position here. We'll see if we can get some other drivers in. And we're going to hide this ticker here. But what a fantastic result here tonight and it looks like we've got Barry in. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Barry up. We're going to have a conversation with him. Barry, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, man, I felt like Barry, I felt like maybe if you were one of the trucks that wanted it to go green to the end without that late caution, I just felt like you were rotating center out really well in both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There at the end, I felt like you had a truck that was turning extremely well as some of those other trucks maybe pushing to the outside. I did think you might have had enough time to get to the 85, but I thought you would get to 19. Looks like you wound up in second anyway. Just kind of walk me through your night.
Yeah, tire wear was huge here tonight. Yeah, it seemed like later in the run, I don't know if I just did a better job of saving tires or what the case may have been, but I definitely felt like towards the end of a run, I was definitely rotating better than the people ahead of me. Um, I think if we had stayed green, I might have been able to catch the 85, but Brandon's lights out fast. I don't know that I would have had enough to pass him, but it would have been nice for us to stay green and see how it ran out.
Well, listen, no matter if you would have caught him or not, I think you had about 3 to go when you were really rotating nicely underneath of the 19. So, wound up in second position anyway. A great points night for you here. Only 3 races left here on the season, but fantastic job bringing this thing home on a podium. P2 tonight. Great job. We'll turn it over to you and let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Robert and all these guys that put this on. I run another truck league with OGRL guys. This is a really, really good league. Normally, really clean racing. I have a blast every time I come here. I don't get to run as much as I'd like to with these guys, but huge shout out to them for putting this on. I know it takes a lot to run a league of this caliber. Got to give a shout out to Richard and Brandon. Those are my teammates. We're always working together, practicing, supporting each other, working together, pitch strategies, setups on cars, things like that. And shout out to you guys for the broadcast.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. Congratulations on a podium finish, bringing that 83 machine here into second position. Look forward to speaking with you again next week.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, man.
All right, so out there in chat, Robert said he did not want that last caution, that he had some fresh tires. Yeah, you were not alone, Robert. I think there were a couple of drivers that certainly wanted to see that. But we do have your winner here in the waiting room, and I'll bring him up here, Russ, and let you take this interview. Brandon, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, man, you had one of the trucks to beat for sure tonight. I mean, between you and the 90 all night long, you guys were up front and definitely taking a check out on this field here. Then, coming down late, it looked like maybe a little pit strategy helping to pay off just a little bit. It was basically between you, the 19, and the 83 there for the top 3. And I mean, me and John were talking about it, and we think, if this thing would have went green, we think you would have, you probably would have had this thing wrapped up anyway. But take us back through your race and what some of your strategy was for this whole this 100 laps here at Nashville.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely an interesting race. Obviously, we all pit early there on about lap 13, fueled up, kind of make sure we're even on fuel that way with Josh pitting. Just better to stay with him in case it did go green. And then we ran about half a tank of fuel, and another caution came out, and just decided to pit again. And I was really surprised that a couple stayed out, and honestly that more didn't stay out. So put me in a good position in P3 to restart there with full tank of fuel, and then the green flag runs came, and it paid off in my favor. Josh had to pit a little bit early; he would have been short on fuel there, so it just kind of fell my way tonight. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now you've got this win. It's going to lock you into the playoffs. What's your mentality like now moving forward into the race next week, knowing you're already locked into the playoffs here?
I don't think it really changes any. I try to run the same race week in, week out, whether I'm going to the playoffs or not. Try to race people respectfully, right, and give them the room when needed, and race them hard when it's late in the race. can't be there, or you can't win it if you're not there at the end either, right? So, yeah, just gotta keep the momentum moving, have a good finish next week, and roll into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you roll in there next week like you did this week, you're definitely going to be a threat for these playoffs too. So, but a fantastic run tonight, fast all night long. I know, you probably didn't want to see that caution there at the end, but man, that last restart on that green white checker, I think I was saying during the broadcast, I think you kind of deked that 19 just a little bit because it looked like he was just a little in front of you, so he had to let off to get back, to get back behind you, and right as he let off is when you got into the gas and you got that big gap, and just I think even if it would have went green there, just nothing that anybody could have done. I think that was just one of the best restarts that I've seen all season long. So congrats to you on picking up the win tonight, locking yourself into the playoffs. We're gonna go run for a championship now, and we'll go ahead and turn it over to you and let you give out any shout outs.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Honestly, just my teammates there at the end, Barry Acker and Richard Modric, they were kind of my buffer between the rest of the field for a little bit there, and kind of helped me run my race, run my pace. And then when Kane got by, he put the pressure on and kept me honest. So honestly, like this whole league's, it's been great. It's really hard to win. It's hard to finish well. So that's made me kind of step up my game. So just a shout out to this whole group. Honestly, it's been a really fun season. So no complaints from me here.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, we look forward to seeing you again and hopefully talking to you again next week. And we wish you the best of luck moving forward into the championship here.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
All right, so there is your race winner, Brandon, in that 85 truck. And Russ, what can you say, man? We had some green flag runs, and then we had some fireworks too. Really great restarts, but I got to tell you, I think the driver that probably had that thing in the bag after some strategy won the race. So you always love to see that. Fantastic job by the 83. 90 coming back to get him a podium finish. But man, we're going to take this thing into next week with a lot of momentum here at FTR.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have a lot of guys looking to try to pick up that last chance winning you're in for the championship here. So it's going to be really exciting next week, and look forward to getting back here and seeing who that last driver is going to be to lock themselves into the playoffs.
Well, this is John and Russ with just a few races left here at FTR. Make sure that you tune in. That is going to be every Monday night at this exact same time on this exact same network here at American Speed Network. Thank you very much, Russ. Always a pleasure. We'll speak to you next week.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. See you next week.